Good evening, students. So, this is my first lecture. You can take it as my demo video. So, in this video, I'm gonna show you how I'll teach you. So, I need your feedback as well. So, please put your views in comment section so that it will be helpful for me. So, let's begin the lecture. So, here is the slide. Our first topic is about English language. So, it is the first part of this topic. I'll share the second part very soon. So it is the first part. So first we need to know about language. What do you mean by language? After understand this, we will move towards English language. Okay. So first of all, we need to understand language. So let's start. A system used by people to communicate with each other. Which system? A system that is used by the people to communicate. Yeah. Uh, System includes sounds and writings that human beings use to express their thoughts and feelings. So, what kind of system? A system includes sounds, sounds, okay, which make sense. They are called words. So, sounds which make sense. They are called words. So, sounds should make sense. Okay, if there are certain sounds, if they do not make sense, then it would be very difficult for us to understand. Okay, so sounds should make sense. Okay, if for example, if someone is speaking Telugu and Tamil with me, then how can I understand? The words seem sound to me because I am not used to those words. Okay, so system includes sounds and writings. Writing means, for example, I am giving a speech. Okay, I'm uttering, I'm just giving a speech. So how can you understand that speech? If that speech is in written format, then it would be more easy for you to understand. Okay, because there are certain exceptions in English. There are certain words that are actually related with each other, so it becomes very difficult for you to understand. But if it is in written format, then you would easily understand that. Okay, so why we use the sounds and writings? To express our thoughts and feelings. Okay, to express our thoughts and feelings, we use language. Okay, then according to article 343 of the constitution, the official language of union is Hindi in Devanagari script. So what the article 343 of the constitution said, that the official language of our country will be Hindi, which is in Devanagari script. But after that, there was a constitutional amendment that took place. Okay, so there was an act that was enacted, and the name of the act was the Official Languages Act. It was enacted in 1963. It was enacted in 1963 that allowed the continuation of English alongside Hindi in Indian government until the legislation decides to change it. Okay, so what that act allowed, that the government can use English along with Hindi. Okay, as per Article 344(1) and Article 351 of Indian Constitution, the Act schedule includes the recognition of 22 languages. Okay, so what it includes? The recognition of 22 regional languages. Which kind of languages? Regional languages that are spoken in any particular states. Okay, so like languages like Bengali, Gujarati, Kashmiri, Hindi, Tamil and Telugu, all these are regional languages because these languages are spoken in particular states. For example, like Gujarat. I'm taking the example of Gujarat. The people in Gujarat, which language they are used to speak? They are used to speak Gujarati language. Most of the people they speak that language, Gujarati language. Okay, but the government of the Gujarat, so the government of the Gujarat, the language that are used by them and by the government is English for the official works. Okay, which language the government is using the English language for the official works. But both these articles of our constitution now allowed the Gujarat government that they can use their regional language. Okay, now they can use their regional language as well for their official works. So these articles allowed the Gujarat government. Okay, now there's a difference between national language and official language. Okay, that is the difference. National language means the language that is widely spoken by the people of any particular country. For example, in our country, people used to speak Hindi language. Okay, so that language will be our national language. Okay, but official language is that language that government chooses for their official works. For their office works, government chooses that language. That is called official language. So according to Article 343 of the Constitution, our official language will be two languages, Hindi and English. Both are our official languages. Government can use both these languages. Now move forward. Now let us understand what is English language and what do you mean by English language. English is a West Germanic language. Okay, the people who are actually inhabited in the western part of Germany. Okay, and the language they speak there. Okay, so English is a West Germanic language belonging to Anglo-Frisian dialects. So Anglo-Frisian was a tribe, and the dialect that was spoken by them. Okay, so in totality, what we will call them, we'll call Anglo-Frisian dialects. Means the tribe that spoke a particular dialect, and because the tribe spoke a dialect, so we in totality what we will call it, we'll call it Anglo-Frisian dialects. Okay, clear? Now there are certain facts that we should know about English language. Okay, because and there are a lot of competitive exams, like in government competitive exams, the questions have been frequently asked. Okay, so it would be very like beneficial for you to learn this some factual things about language. It will helpful for you in competitive exams. So official language of 51 countries. English is the official language of 51 countries. It's a big thing. In terms of most spoken, third position after Chinese and Spanish. So Chinese ranks first, and then comes Spanish and our mother tongue, which is Hindi. Hindi is not far behind. Hindi comes fourth. So the position of Hindi is fourth, and the position of English is third. Okay, in terms of most spoken. Okay. Now you need to understand the difference between dialect and the language. Okay. What is the difference between these two things? Okay. So language is actually used, and it is it is used by the people of the country. Means majority of the people, what they use language. Okay, like language has its own grammar, syntax, all these things, and it is the large part, and the large part is associated with language. Okay, I'm not talking about any particular state. I'm talking about the wide region. For example, India. Okay, India is a country, and which language India speaks? Okay, India speaks Hindi language. Means the people of our country, which language they speak? They speak Hindi language. Okay, so India is not a just a narrow area; it's a broad area. So I'm talking about any broad area. So when we talk about broad area, we we will talk about language, but dialect belongs to any particular area. Okay, for example, I have given you the example of Gujarat. That the people in Gujarat, they speak Gujarati language. So I'm talking about a particular area. So dialects is actually spoken in a particular area, okay, in a particular region by people. Like and dialects are also a variety of dialects, okay, that we can differentiate those dialects on the basis of their vocabulary, syntax, their pronunciation, okay. So all these things we can like differentiate the dialects. Like the dialect of Gujarat is different, the dialect of Bengal is different, of Kashmir is different. So all those dialects are different from each other. And how can we differentiate? We differentiate on it on the basis of its vocabulary, its syntax, its grammatical rules, okay, its syntax, its structures. All these things help help us in order to find out the difference, okay. Now if we count native and non-native English speakers, English ranks first. So what do you mean by native and non-native? Native means like I born in India, okay, we born in India, most of the people, they born in India. So which language we are used to, like from since childhood we see our parents, they speak in Hindi language. So Hindi is our native language, it's our first language. In other words, I can say it's our first language, because we see our parents, they speak in Hindi, so we have learnt Hindi from our parents, okay. So that is called native. Non-native means that language that I have to like learnt it from others by observing others. Like for example, I if I have to understand, I have to learn English, then how can I learn it? How can I learn it? Okay, I can learn it from just observing others, by read some books, by read some syntax structures, okay. All these things I need to learn, okay. I need to read, I need to focus on all these things to learn that particular language. I have not learned it from my surroundings. So that is the difference between native and non-native. So if we count native and non-native English speakers, means first and second language speakers, yeah, in other words, first and second and third language speakers, English ranks first, okay. Clear? So this is all for now. The things that I have mentioned here, you have to write it down, and those things which I have not mentioned here, but I was delivering while I'm speaking. Okay, so you can write it down as well. It will be helpful for you in various competitive exams. So now I have to wrap up. I'll share the second part of this topic with you very soon. Till then, take care of yourself. Goodbye.